Yo, what's up? It's Marshmello, and I'm doing the Wired autocomplete interview. Just gonna take a breathing break real quick. We got How Marshmello. How does Marshmello breathe? Well, as you can see, if you hear me gasping for air, when I talk a lot, it gets kind of harder and harder to breathe. It is a struggle sometimes, but on stage, I just think I have so much adrenaline that I don't even notice it until I get off and I'm laying on the ground, like catching my breath. How to book Marshmello. Hit up my booking agent and he can set something up. How to be like Marshmello. Well, that's the great thing, you know, you can just make a helmet, buy a helmet during Halloween at Spirit Halloween, or buy some off the website, or make your own. Some people, when they make their own, it's better than mine. How to dance like Marshmello. All right, I don't really consider myself a dancer. Anytime you have seen me dance, it's because I'm just in the vibe and everything. So how to dance like Marshmello, dance however you want, because that's how I do it, and there's no rhyme or reason, just dance. We got the Is Marshmello. Let's see what we got. Is Marshmello a celebrity? Sometimes there's times I feel like a celebrity, and there's some times where I'm just kind of like, it's kind of hard to grasp, you know what I mean? Everything that's going on. I just take it for what it is and try to have a good time. I don't really try to think, am I a celebrity or am I not? Is Marshmello the best DJ in the world? Yes, I am. And you know it, and I don't know. I tried to put on good shows, and I know a lot of amazing DJs also that are really good friends, that are really big, and I know a lot of amazing DJs that are smaller. I would say I can't classify myself as the best DJ. Is Marshmello nice? I try to be as nice as I can be. I'd like to say that I'm nice. Is Marshmello Travis Scott's brother? I'm not Travis Scott's brother. We've met a few times. I have some close friends that are close with him. Definitely not related. Is everybody ready? Does Marshmello improvise live? In certain situations, mostly club settings, I'll improvise. It's a little tougher for the live shows, for festivals, stuff like that, because we have a whole show kind of choreographed to certain songs. I'll improvise maybe a little bit here and there, but mostly in Vegas, every single time it's different, you know, because fans might be feeling house more, so I'll play longer house music, or fans might like the rap, trap, stuff like that, so I'll play longer that. So it all depends, but yeah, I guess my answer to this is yes, definitely improvise. Does Marshmello use Ableton? I do. I've been using Ableton for 11 years, probably. And I'm still learning how to do stuff, which is a lot of Ableton users will say. Amazing program, so anybody who's watching this that wants to get into music production, check out Ableton, learn to use it, go on YouTube, stuff like that. So if you want to get an idea just kind of out on the page, the metaphorical, put it out on paper just so you could see it, I'll use just kind of the basic knowledge, you know, put snares here, kicks there, stuff like that. And then if I feel as I'm going to add effects, like maybe there needs to be reverb on certain stuff, I'll do that. But to get it out, I'll just do it very like simply and then start swapping, like, oh, this doesn't sound right. And then you really dive into the super nuances, little tiny stuff. There's a lot of people that overthink in production. They spend a million days on just one kick, like making it, but you just gotta keep moving. If it sounds good, just leave it alone, just keep working. Does Marshmello write his own lyrics? For the songs that I sing on, I write my own lyrics, for sure. I try to help. I always joke with writers and artists in the studio that I suck at writing lyrics. I'm just really good with melodies and production, obviously. That's my main thing, but yeah, I try my best. If the melody's catchy, that'll like set me up a little bit better. What made Marshmello famous? My first song, Alone, that I put out, we did this music video, and the music video took off, and ever since that point, just been up from there. What was Marshmello's childhood like? A lot of music, a lot of bands, a lot of piano recitals, some sports here and there, but for the most part, I just wanted to do music. Here I am, wearing a Marshmello head doing that. What is Marshmello's helmet made of? Some sort of plastic. I don't sit there and make it, but whatever it is, it's super light and super durable. I have kind of like this grate here. It's almost like metal. The very first version was actually a yoga mat, cut and like super glued together and painted, and it had like pantyhose as like the eyes, and it had this little 9-volt battery, these LEDs around the eyes, and that's how the whole helmet ran, and it was huge. It was huge. What is Marshmello's best song? The best performing one to this day is Happier with Bastille. I love that song. So if I had to answer, I would say my song Happier. All right. When is Marshmello coming back to Fortnite? We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see what we got. When did Marshmello start making music? Making music for myself, probably when I was 13 or 14 on GarageBand. Then it just kept going from there, and I started switching to more advanced music programs. When is Marshmello going on tour? Hopefully as soon as I can. I'm playing Vegas almost every weekend and festivals here and there, but as for a tour, still TBA. When did Marshmello die? I didn't die. I don't know where that came from, but I would be the first person to know if I died, so. We got why Marshmello category here. Let's see, why does Marshmello love India? I did a song named Biba that was an amazing experience. We flew out to India, I played some shows, got in the studio. The whole experience was amazing. The culture is amazing. We were out there for like 2 weeks and it was awesome. And I just had such a great time. Why did Marshmello make Alone? Right when I moved to LA, I was like, I want to write a song that's just talking about being alone. I had just left all my friends and everything back at home. And when I wrote it, I was like, that's really simple as a bad thing. And I was like, but it's catchy. So whatever, I'll just see what happens. And Alone was born. That's the whole story behind that. Why did Marshmello become a DJ? I tried to be in a lot of bands and it didn't work out. I played guitar in some and then sang a lot in the others. Screamed back when I knew how. So I just said, screw it, I'll just do it myself. And I always liked electronic music and stuff like that. So it was like DJing as the live show and producing kind of as my main thing. Being a DJ just kind of fit perfectly into all that. So just pulled the trigger, bought a little setup and ran with it. And here we are. Final. Number 1, does Marshmello sing? I do sing. About 3 or 4 songs on Joy Time 3 where I sing. I sang on Alone, but I pitched it up. There's videos out there where people pitch the song down and it's like, Marshmello's real voice, oh my gosh. They think that's the only song that exists with my real voice, but I have probably like 7 songs of me singing. Does Marshmello's head get tired? Yes, my neck and my back mostly. Maybe in the beginning not so much, but nowadays, after 6-7 years of doing this, it gets tired, but I don't really know till after the show because of the adrenaline. I can't even tell when I'm on stage. I'm just having too much fun, and then after you're like, whoa. All right, does Marshmello rap? I do not rap. I've tried, even if it's for writing and it just doesn't work out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last one. Did Marshmello sell his soul? I sold it to the Marshmello gods. All right, that's it. That is the end of the Wired autocomplete interview. We had some pretty interesting questions. Thank you to Wired, and thanks for watching.